Hey guys, it's Khoi. I'm at Iron Mike's Guns. We're checking out the new Staccato P4X. This will be released on July 4th. We got a sneak peek of this guy. Essentially, you have a C4X top end with a P4 grip. It's a full-size grip, steel frame, so it's really going to soak up a lot of the recoil. It's going to be taking an 18-round magazine. Staccato also released their new +2 extensions for those guys as well. We're going to put the gun through its paces. But overall, this gun feels really great if you are familiar with the C4X line. If you don't already know, it has a comp here to help reduce the recoil. This particular version is their premium, so it has the X series slide cut. I believe it comes with extra magazines. The trigger on this guy is very crisp and very light. It is outfitted with the Trijicon RMR HD and the Surefire XC3 Lite. But other than that, you know, it's a great offering from Staccato. We're going to put it through its paces. We're going to be comparing it to the XC, the C4X, and then see how this guy stacks in between that hierarchy. And we'll be putting a lot of rounds through this guy. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we're going to be comparing the Staccato XC to the P4X. This is a 5-inch comped gun. It's Staccato's flagship. It takes standard 2011 magazines. We're going to see how it fares up with the newly released P4X. We're going to run a bill drill on it, 6 rounds, and we'll see how this goes. All right, here we go. All right, that was 5 rounds. My bad. We need to try to go again. All right, 173 for this. All right, so right off the bat, the XC is softer shooting. It's because of the 5-inch barrel on here. The trigger, in my opinion, on the XC is going to be a little bit better. It has a little bit more edge. And then the mass on this guy, this is obviously going to be heavier than the P4X, but the P4X is still no slouch compared to this guy. I would say this ranks a little bit below the XC in terms for the P4X, but still a great offering from Staccato. And the huge benefit to the P4X obviously is that it takes Glock magazines. So if you have a bunch of Glock magazines at home, it will work with the gun, and then you don't have to shell out for the 2011 magazines, which can be expensive. So that's the XC. All right, guys, we're going to be comparing the C4X to the P4X. The C4X is going to be a 4-inch comped slide. It's going to have a shorter grip on it, and it does not have a steel frame. It has an aluminum frame, I believe, and then it takes 15 from the factory instead of the 18 from the P4X. This was released not too long ago, so we're going to see how this compares. When I originally reviewed the C4X, I loved it. I actually got one myself, and I've been enjoying it since. So I'm pretty familiar with the C4X. We're going to see how it compares, again, to the P4X. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a bill drill, and we're going to see what times we can get with the C4X. So here we go. All right, that was 192. The gun is a little bit more, the slide comes back a little bit harder, but the comp still does its work, and keeping the gun pretty flat, but you do feel it slightly compared to the P4X. So again, that was 192. We're going to try again. Here we go. All right, 192 again. All right, see if I can try to push the speed on this. I got 10 rounds left. All right, 177. All right, one more time. Here we go. 177 seems to be pretty consistent here. I have 10 more rounds. Here we go. That was 5 rounds, 158. Can't count. All right, we're gonna top off. We're gonna go one more. All right, here we go. Bill drill with the C4X. All right, 179. So I was hovering around 177, 172 for that guy. Let me unload really quick. So the C4X, great gun from Staccato. It has a 4-inch slide and it's comped obviously like the P4X. The grip is a little bit shorter, so great for those that want to carry. But you are going to be losing out on the capacity. You're at 15 compared to the 18 plus 2 if you're running extensions on the P4X. But it is still no slouch. I would give the P4X an advantage over the C4X because of the obviously longer grip, full-size grip, and then you have a steel frame. That steel frame really does make a huge difference when you're running these guys fast. All right, guys, we're gonna be doing a build drill on the P4X, and we're gonna see how it compares to all the other guns that we shot so far. And here we go. 6 rounds on the clock, and here we go. All right, a little bit of a trigger freeze on that 197. See if I can go faster. That was 5 rounds, can't count, 160. Let me try that again. I should have enough. Five rounds again, 152. Apparently I cannot count. Let me see if I have enough rounds. All right, here we go. All right, 176 with that, 6 rounds finally. A little bit of a trigger freeze. Well, let me see if I can do better than 176. Here we go. All right, 161. That was probably my fastest so far. Let me see if I can beat that. I got 10 rounds left. All right, here we go. All right, 177. So 161 seems to be my fastest with the P4X. All right, guys, wrapping it up here. As you can see, the Staccato P4X is no slouch. It shot almost head-to-head with the XC. I would still give the advantage to the XC a little bit. But again, the P4X is no slouch. We were shooting a bunch of ammo through this. We were actually using the Norma NXD. It's a 65 grain bullet, pushing at 1730. We're shooting frange, which this guy happens to be. But again, 65 grain out of a 4-inch comped gun. It ran perfectly, no issues. And for those of you guys that are saying you need to run 124, you don't on this guy. It will eat whatever you throw at it. But again, Staccato P4X, 4-inch slide, comped, full-size grip, steel frame. It is really a great shooting gun. This should be available starting July 4th, so if you're in the market for one, definitely hit up your local Staccato dealer. We will be carrying these here at Iron Mike's Guns for you law enforcement guys, and yeah, if you're interested, definitely hit them up, and until next time, guys, take care.